And I didn't even talk about my review of the Hunger Games. It was the first I've seen of it. I didn't even know what it was about. Um, that was so strange. The food. Oh, I didn't like that. Have you seen really hungry people? Have you ever been really hungry? I've seen my own, that knobby joint look in my own arms. But I wasn't actually that hungry. I was just not eating enough because I was doing too much YouTube and chewing too much coca instead of eating. But I don't know what, I mean, it all, apparently lots of people have seen it. The reason I went was I talked to the little girl who was at the cinema when I got there. She showed me the trailer, and she also showed me the trailer for Salt Burn, and I said, no, Saltburn's not my cup of tea. She said, I think you'll like the Hunger Games because a lot of people have been seeing it. And I thought, so is this what people are doing? People are hanging a kind of flash mob reality TV. That was that other film. I watched one on the plane over from Houston. I watched a thing about a game. A girl, she gets these challenges on her phone and has to do things, and it gets more and more dangerous. So I thought that kind of thing was going on. But that song, that scene of the hanging and the ravens calling with the cries of the dying and the dead, that really struck home. I thought, that's why when the ravens leave the Tower of London, the empire will fall, because you're no longer hanging the traitors. I thought that was a nice twisted little point to make. So I walked out of there and I thought, right, well, I'd better go to the hanging tree at midnight. And I got straight on the train. I went to the station in Elstree, Boreham Wood, and I said, is there a train to London? And he said, yeah, there's one more. And it was 10. No, it was past 11 when I asked this. And I went and got on platform 1, and I got on the train, and I went down I was with every intention of going to the tower to see my friend Rockefeller. It was the Rockefellers that paid for the restoration of that, which is strange, isn't it? So I was going to go there and hang out at midnight, but something happened. The train didn't stop where Google Maps said it would stop. Google Maps said it would stop at Blackfriars, and that I would be able to get a Circle Line train, I guess, back across the river and up to, excuse me, what was the stop that I would have wanted? I don't remember what Google Maps route was, but I got on the train, and I got off at Farringdon because the next stop was going to be south of the river. So I thought, oh, I better get off at Farringdon. And then I was looking for hoping that there was a eastbound district. There was supposed to be a Circle Line train from Farringdon that would have taken me down, but taken me across to what's it called? Tower Hamlets. Tower. Oh dear, mine's blank. So instead, I got I walked. No, I got on another train. It was another overground train. This was the one to Brighton. I got on with a whole lot of kids bound for Brighton. I thought, well, worst comes to worst, I can go all the way to Brighton. Have breakfast on the pier or something. But I got off at Blackfriars. I'd forgotten that Blackfriars is south of the river, and I thought I was getting off north of the river. So when I got out of the station, I walked down the wrong bank. And instead of going to the Tower of London, I ended up at the National Theatre. How about that? So I thought of Helen, and I went in, and there was an BFI thing on, and they were still showing bits of the KLF stuff, but that was all on it, and I missed that, didn't I? I didn't get to go. Should have made a note in my diary. But I took a photo of the screen showing the KLF, and just as I took the photo, the screen went white, and so I didn't get a picture of that. And I made that video that I've already uploaded to YouTube, and then I just thought, well, what do I do now? I was half expecting to meet my daughter there somewhere, or nothing. So I walked off up the river to the next bridge, which I guess is Vauxhall. No, which bridge is it? Anyway, I walked across that footbridge next to the railway bridge. But on the way down, there was a girl in the station at Bushy on the same platform, talking on her phone and talking about act out. And see, all my friends think I'm mad, but act out's a once in a lifetime thing. And I thought, yeah, why does it have to be? Why can't we just do business like this? Awake and connecting and clicking. So I walked around and I found my way up to Trafalgar Square, saw Nelson's column, made a video of that, which I'll post in a minute. And then I went to the National Gallery and made a video and said hello to Birdie. And then I was walking around looking for a night bus, so I made another video saying hello to Ellie. And you have to be a part of the in crowd to know what I'm talking about, I guess. And I couldn't find out which bus to get on, so I just walked up the road. I carried on I walked along Tottenham Court Road, and I got to Euston, and just as I was walking into the station to get the last train on platform 12, the last train back here, there was a girl begging outside, and I said, yeah, just hang on, I'll give you some money. I'll have to go to a cash point. And I went in looking for the cash point, and the guy came up and said, you'll miss the train. And I said, well, can you give her £5? He said, I haven't got any money on me. And I said, oh. He said, but we're closing the station now. So I just left her and ran onto the train with these other girls, and it was a crowded last train thing, hundreds of people on it, and everyone piled in and hauled off. All these beautiful kids out for the night. Seemed to be French people everywhere, all the way down from Blackfriars to the National Theatre. I heard nothing but French people speaking French. I just go around everywhere. It feels like I'm turning up after the party's over. And it was like that in Cochabamba all the time. It was always the parties just happened, and I rock up, and it's all winding down. I saw the homeless people in the streets. There's a real homeless encampment halfway up Tottenham Court Road, just before you get to Goodge Street. There's a little row of tents there. I saw Centre Point. I said hello to you, Jules. My fucking pension. And so yeah, I got the train back to Harrow and Wealdstone, and then met my Tamil friend outside the fried chicken place, and I gave him £10. So it looks like I spent another 10 quid on crack. But I'm sure you can treat coca addiction with crack and cocaine addiction with coca. And there's a doctor in La Paz who's actually done it, and he achieved far better rates of normalization than anyone else I've ever heard. Something like 20%. Because it's quite hard to get off crack, I heard. I've never taken it. I don't know. So that's my experience with Hunger Games. But in the end, I started thinking about Zach Goldsmith and whatever the son of, who's the son of George Soros' son, what's his name? What a weird movie. But I showed up, and so instead tonight, when I was on my way, walking around the woods on my way with a backpack full of pebbles after having gone to seen that house and posted that video, I walked back through the woods to Grimsdyke, and I sat down by an old oak tree. And I sang a song. I sang the Pogues, The Worms Crawl In. I sang it twice, once very, very low and sad, and once a bit more like, what's his name? sings on the record, but more cheerfully. And there's such a beautiful little house there that I walked past, and the front door was open and the lights were on as I walked past, as if I was being invited to just walk in. Beautiful little house on the edge of the woods, absolutely quiet. Oh, what a lovely place to live. Imagine in winter if it ever snows, you've got a place fields you could go sledding on, and woods you could walk in, and gosh, and next to the tree I found a huge crop of mushrooms. I'm going to go and check what they are tomorrow in daylight. That had just sprung up in the last few days. Maybe they're boletus, I don't know. If they are, I'm going to pick them and fry them in a pan with sunflower oil. Helen, that vegan Christmas dinner was really nice. Boy, just cooked potatoes with sunflower oil and a sprinkling of salt and Brussels sprouts is a really good dinner. Wow, it was fantastic. And the potatoes and the sprouts were cooked to absolute perfection. 10 minutes. 10 minutes for the potatoes, and then add the Brussels sprouts and cook them together for another 10 minutes, drain them, and that's it. Oh, it was lovely, and I can do it again tomorrow. I'll have that tomorrow as well. So that's my review of the Hunger Games. I have no idea what all that nonsense is about. But I do like the thought of being able to trade this place for a 6-bedroom place in Bushy once we've renovated it. We just have to work out how to do all of that without money. £1 million for the house, and then the renovation without money. How do we do it?